Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up just a damn second. What is this company possibly thinking? Rhea Ripley defending her title against Raquel Rodriguez on the second grandest stage, the second biggest event of World Wrestling Entertainment's calendar year, SummerSlam. Are they out of their dome pieces? Oh, we're going to talk about it on today's Amped Up podcast with BC Amplified for Sunday, July 9th, 2023. And we're going to talk about it because it needs to be talked about. And I got a fresh coffee. So I don't care how long it takes. We're going to talk about it. Raquel, going for the championship. You can catapult these individuals with no connection like Charlie Flair for 8 years. There's still no connection with the majority of the audience. You can push somebody like Austin Theory to the moon since he got to the roster. Money in the Bank briefcases, United States titles, in there with John Cena, defeating John Cena at WrestleMania, defeating Edge in Canada. And Austin Theory, there's still no connection with the majority of the fans. You can catapult Raquel Rodriguez. This is no shade to Raquel, but you're going to catapult her to the stage of SummerSlam going for a title when there's no connection. But then LA Knight, who there's a massive connection, organically super over with no help from the machine, he doesn't even have a SummerSlam spot. Basically, maybe they give him one next week. Oh, when there's 21 days away from SummerSlam, why would you sabotage him? You kept LA Knight off 3 straight pay-per-views before Money in the Bank, and that's only because it's a match with 7 individuals, so we might as well throw him in there just to lose. WrestleMania, Backlash, Night of Champions, no LA Knight. Madison Square Garden, SmackDown, no LA Knight. Off TV. Shut the fans up by putting him in the first segment with a quarter of the arena empty. Just so the fans don't chant LA Knight the rest of the show. That's the respect LA Knight gets. And then he just gets told, good things come to those that wait by Papa H, Pinocchio Pussface. Like LA Knight is his kid. No, LA Knight doesn't look at you as Papa H, and that pisses him off. LA Knight should have something major for SummerSlam. Instead, as of right now, he's got nothing, and we're less than 4 weeks away. Meanwhile, people like Raquel Rodriguez, from latest reports, is being catapulted to the title match. How does this make sense with this company? It's an easy answer. It doesn't! We're going to talk about it. We're also going to discuss numbers. Ratings. Some fans don't like to talk numbers. They don't like to talk ratings. Basically, it doesn't matter in 2023. Well, it does. It actually matters, some would say, even more so today than it did back in the day. And we're going to go over every show this week's ratings. AEW Collision, Monday Night Raw, AEW Dynamite, NXT, SmackDown's overnight rating from last night. And the cool thing, guys, I have not seen any of these numbers yet. I'm going to witness them for the first time while we are recording this podcast. No edits, my actual reaction to these numbers. I don't know what Collision did. I heard some rumblings. I didn't get the most accurate number. I don't know what NXT did. I don't know what the overnight was for SmackDown yet. We're going to go over it, man, in this podcast. And I'm going to give you my honest, organic thoughts. As I read these numbers, what's working, what's not. Did Collision go down yet again from $5.95 last week? We're going to talk all about it, man. SmackDown's overnight, the big 45-minute angle with the Bloodline. We'll talk all about it, man. The numbers, the big ratings. I haven't gotten to any of them this week. I've been so busy. I put out a podcast on the 4th of July for the Raw review. It's been one awesome week, but tiring. And a lot packed into the week. Well, we're going to fix that right now. We're going to go over all the numbers, all the ratings, guys. And in this podcast, and I'm going to take a long time on this probably, I got a fresh coffee. There's been a lot of super chat super thankses in the comments down below over the last couple of podcasts. The last few amped ups, including yesterday's live stream, after it went up onto the channel as a regular upload. After we were done being live, even more coffees you guys sent. So that super thanks button down below, it's an extension of the super chats. There was a lot of you guys recently. Enough that I said, you know what? I'm gonna get a fresh coffee and I'm gonna spend time shooting the shit with my amplified unit. So to everybody that threw this channel a coffee over the last couple of uploads in the super thanks down below, I'm gonna not just acknowledge those. We're gonna shoot the shit, man, and we're gonna have good conversation from those super thanks. So that's gonna be in this podcast, man, including JR9 Gaming's NXT report. We have not talked anything about NXT. That's my right-hand man on the channel. And he's the gold standard when it comes into breaking down NXT. And I'm going to have JR9's review of NXT as well. So that's all coming up, man. We got to do this the right way, right? It is a packed, stacked, jacked show today. The Amped Up Podcast for Sunday, July 9, 2023. There's nothing left to do. Smash that up. Get your beverage. Come right on back. And let's get amplified. By the way, a happy birthday to my right-hand man on the channel, JR9 Gaming, number 22 today. Salute, man. Thank you for all the contributions to the channel, which tops that list at just supporting the channel like you do, bro. And always being there to answer the questions really fast. When I'm live especially, man, and I got something that I need answered, and I just ask it, and I look to my right, and JR9 Gaming is already spitting out the facts, has got the answers, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, brother. Here's to a very happy birthday. Well wishes and beyond. Here's to another 22 and beyond. Salute, JR9 Gaming. I want to start off, we'll wait on the numbers for this week. All the shows, all their ratings, I'm going to have them for you guys. I'm going to look them all up on the air. No edits. My organic, natural reaction to all these numbers because I have not seen them ahead of time. We'll wait on that. I want to start with the big story for BC. Raquel Rodriguez going after Rhea Ripley's. What do you call this? It's no longer the Raw Women's Championship. The World Women's Championship? Is that what they're calling it? I don't even know anymore. It's so stupid. But how you have Raquel Rodriguez going for Rhea's championship on the second biggest event of WWE's calendar year is befuddling. It started out as the rumor, and I sat on it. Then it gained some traction. Reputable sources started saying it was penciled in. I still sat on it. Didn't want to believe it. And now we're hearing that it's locked in. It's Raquel versus Rhea. Now, when they went face-to-face backstage a few weeks ago, I said, okay, in time, that's going to be a good match, hopefully. Hopefully, we hope, right? Raquel still has a long way to go. But maybe. We're hoping. The face-to-face, that could be fun once you really build Raquel up the right way. We already know that Vince McMahon is very high on Raquel, and we know that Paul Levesque is super high on Raquel. We were hoping they weren't just going to catapult her way before its time. But nope. It's looking like Raquel, who's a tag team champion, by the way, with Liv Morgan. And they just got the titles back, and they just reformed their team because Liv Morgan was injured in that team, just like everybody else that's been linked up with Raquel. You guys remember Aaliyah? Probably not. She's been out for many, many, many months with an injury in a tag team with Rhea Ripley. Goodbye, Aaliyah. Shotzi then became a team with Raquel, and Shotzi got injured. Goodbye, Shotzi. Liv Morgan then had to come in to hold the hand of Raquel, and Liv Morgan got injured. Goodbye, Liv. Shotzi came back after Liv. Shotzi got re-injured with a minor injury. Goodbye, Shotzi again, and here's Liv. Man, that's a bad track record. I'm not blaming Raquel, but man, is that some bad mojo surrounding you. And I'm not talking Rowley. If I was anybody being told I'm being linked up with Raquel, I'd say no thank you. No thank you, that cannot end well. Everybody gets injured with Raquel. And the sad part is, guys, that with all of these tag teams that Raquel has already been in the few short months she's been on the main roster, none of them have gotten her over. Not even in the slightest. Raquel Rodriguez, this is not shade to Raquel, by the way. I hope nothing but the best for her. I hope in the reviews that we do in the future, I can talk nothing but positive to no end. Love it, love it, love it if I can do it. Right now, this is not an opinion, right? We all can say this truthfully. Raquel is nowhere near over. And that's with tag team title reigns. That's with this company having her win way more than she loses. The company is backing her 100%. She wins all these matches. She's getting tag titles left and right. And she can't get anywhere close to over. And she's going to be at SummerSlam going for Rhea Ripley's championship. How does that make sense? How? And that match isn't even announced yet. We're just hearing that it is no longer a rumor. No longer is our reporters told that it's penciled in, but it's locked at this point. All that's waiting now is the final announcement. They'll probably do that Monday with a shitty setup and the announcement. Just a few weeks away from SummerSlam. How is that supposed to get fans interested? You look at you can't even call it a SmackDown women's title anymore. I don't know what they're calling that. The women's universal title? I don't know what they're calling these titles. But the title that Asuka is holding, you can't even get her in a one-on-one match with Io with a good story set up. No, they have Io winning the briefcase a month after she just lost a title match to Belair at Backlash in Puerto Rico. Now fans are supposed to get excited about Io holding a briefcase for a possible title match when we already saw Io lose a title match a month earlier. As much as I love Io, you guys know that, it's all ass backwards. So you can't even get Io and Asuka because they have to set up an Io cash-in for the future. So what do we do, guys? What we're hearing, it's already locked in, just like with Rhea and Raquel. We're hearing that the triple threat's locked in for SmackDown. Asuka versus Bianca versus Charlie. We expect Charlie to win that match. And I wouldn't doubt that Io maybe cashes in so Charlie can get number 15, right? Where's she at? Does she already have 15? Or is that going to be 16? Or she gets the 16th, 15th or 16th. I forget what we're up to. She's almost about to beat her father, though. She gets it, immediately gets cashed in, and the next time she wins, she defeats her father's record of 16 times. I wouldn't put it past this company to do that. Either way, expect Asuka to be done filthy at SummerSlam, and she only holds the title for a little over a month. And she got it on a Saturday afternoon in Saudi Arabia. They didn't even have the decency to give her that title in victory at WrestleMania. Nope. We'll give it to you in 4 weeks on a Saturday afternoon at a C-level event. PLE. So just like that is making people scratch their heads, it's befuddling. How is that the best you got for SummerSlam? Bianca and Charlie Flair versus Asuka for the title? The triple threat is the best you got to set up? Over on the Raw side of things, it ain't much better. Some would say it's worse. Somebody who's in a tag team with a tag team title who is nowhere near over and nowhere near ready to be in a title match, much less getting a title, against Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. So BC, you say you want the best for Raquel. She's getting this big opportunity. I don't get it, BC. Here's my point. Just humor me here. Hear me out, please. Right? This isn't just somebody just with a podcast that's just ripping apart all the decisions that WWE is doing, even though it seems that way because they're making stupid decision after stupid decision. Humor me here. Just hear me out. What if you took somebody like Raquel who the machine wants to get behind? Okay, cool. You think they have the it factor, which for some reason we just aren't seeing right now. It's going to take more than to come out, turn around, show your ass, put up a bicep that we can barely see. I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't work arm day that much. That's fine. But it's going to take more than that. And stuffing her in tag team after tag team with so many partners. Aaliyah, Shotzi, Liv Morgan, and repeat the process. Whenever one gets injured, it's like a merry-go-round, a vicious cycle. We need to put somebody else with Raquel. Because they don't trust her on her own. That's clear. You guys know that's why this is happening. The company knows how far she still has. But they think there's a lot there. They like the look. They're going to go with it. So why not book her properly to the point where she either will use the line I always use that Edge stole this week, sink or swim? What if you booked her slowly but stop the title shit with tag team titles and being in tag teams. Book her slowly but surely to the point where you, the company, and we, the fans, feel like it's sink or swim time. Is she getting organic kick-ass reactions, or are there crickets? Can you literally see Z's coming from people's dome pieces in the audience, in the crowd? And that'll dictate if it's time to take her to the next step, the next level, or it just isn't working. It's time to bring her. Just shred it all down, repackage, or maybe this isn't working. Or you can do what WWE's doing. All this time, all these titles, all these prime TV spots and pay-per-views, and it's led to no reaction. Nobody gives a shit. So let's put her on the second biggest show of the year in a title match. Let's pluck her from this tag team title that she's carrying in a division that is non-existent. Don't even get me started. There's a reason Mercedes Moné and Trinity Fatu took off. And Bayley and Sasha beforehand. There's a reason they just left. Because they were promised a division, and it was clear there's no division. It's non-existent. You're tag team champions of what? Instead, they just say, hey, let's pluck her now and let's just have her in a title match. If we force these individuals down people's throats, if we force them to like them, it'll work. But it didn't work for Roman for over 5-6+ years. How many WrestleMania main events? Beating people like The Undertaker and so many other fan favorites. Or just diabolical heels, but winning on the grandest stage, and it got him booed. The Rock at Royal Rumble in Philadelphia, holding the hand of his cousin Roman and getting booed out of the arena. The look on The Rock's face, I'll never forget it. Listening to Philadelphia boo him. And that look like, damn, they're doing something wrong with this dude, Roman, my cousin. Yeah. To the point where Joanna Y. and Heyman finally had to storm in to the offices of WWE's Vincent Kennedy and say, no, this is it. We got to change. You forced us for year after year after year. It's not working. It's actually getting worse. It didn't work with Roman Reigns. Charlie Flair, 8 years now plus. 8 years forcing Charlie Flair to this very day. No connection. It failed. She came back from that long hiatus just a few months ago in Tampa Bay to that big reaction. I told you guys, watch how fast that fades away. When you're gone for a while, they're happy to see you for a minute. Usually it lasts a couple months. For Charlie, I was like, watch, within a week, you're going to start to hear it downgrade. What happened 3 weeks later? She was being booed so loud and wutted that she had to beg the audience to please show her respect. She has to say something important. Begging the audience to stop booing her. She actually asked the audience, are you booing me? It was just 3 weeks after she came back as a face. She just came back again a couple weeks ago. And what was her reaction in Madison Square Garden? Booing her out of the ring. 8 years they've been forcing Charlie Flair. Hasn't worked. Austin Theory has been forced. The next John Cena, he was deemed. How's his U.S. title reign going? He's still getting piped in boos. After John Cena exposed that's what they were doing, that's how bad it got. And John Cena had to rip him apart with truth in the middle of the ring and say, they don't connect with you. You're boring. They got to pipe in booze because they don't even care about you. And even after the John Cena victory at Mania, it's the same old. Listen, Austin Theory defeated Sheamus to retain the title this past Friday night in Madison Square Gardens, New York City. Listen to the reaction afterwards. Nobody gave a fuck. Guys, I can keep going. Individual after individual after individual that this company shoves down your throat. They push, they strap the rocket when there's one big problem. The fans aren't even showing an inkling, not even a fraction of excitement for them. I could see if they're like, oh, the fans like them. I could see this person could be on the posters. They could be on the opening signatures. They could be all over the trucks. The marketing, oh man, I see this, man. I like it. I could see if the fans were behind these people a little bit. No. They make the choice and they refuse to call an audible. They refuse to listen to the fans these days. When we never failed them with Rocky Maivia when we said this isn't working. And thanks to us, we got The Rock. When we were saying the ringmaster isn't it, but this dude's got potential. Well, thanks to us and them finally changing it up, we got Stone Cold Steve Austin. We didn't fail them with the Yes movement and Daniel Bryan. We didn't fail them with Kofi Kingston. It wasn't fickle fans after Kofi won the belt that derailed it. It was bad booking. Fans can be fickle, especially in 2023. But Kofi Mania, that was the right decision, and I loved him with the title. Could have been a lot more fun. Booking failed him immediately after he won the title. But we didn't steer them in the wrong direction. Roman Reigns, we got the best Roman Reigns when they finally turned him heel. Year after year of him being 50-50. Some cheers, some boos, as long as it's a reaction. We said there could be a better reaction if you just do what's right. They finally listened and we were right. LA Knight, we're saying this dude, it's now. Paul Levesque says good things come to those that wait. He's 41 years old. He doesn't need to wait. He's ready now. You don't need to keep him off more pay-per-views or keep him off of New York City SmackDown 3 to 4 weeks before SummerSlam. You're being stupid. You're not cooling him off his momentum. You're shutting him down. Why? We're telling you LA Knight has the it factor. LA Knight already went to number 3 in the merchandise sales this week. The shirt just came out this week for 4th of July. He's already surpassing Stone Cold in the number 3 spot right behind Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Where's Charlie Flair in the top 5? She's not. Not even top 10. Where's Austin Theory in the top 5? He's not. Not even top 10. Where's Raquel Rodriguez? She's not. Not even top 10. My point is, why would you not just build the individuals first and then put them in these big situations? That's what pissed everybody off about LA Knight and the Money in the Bank. Is that's what this company does. They use titles, literally championships, and the title of King of the Ring or Money in the Bank briefcase holder. They take these and they use them as accessories, right? Oh, this person has a briefcase. They're going to get over because they have a briefcase, right? That's why we have to put it on Damian. He's not quite over yet. LA Knight already is. We need Damian, so let's put the briefcase on him. What happened on Monday? He didn't get more over. In fact, it's exactly what a lot of us were concerned about. This is going to get old real quick. Every Monday, he's going to come out with the briefcase. He's going to act like he's cashing in on who? Sethington? Is that really exciting you? No, you saw on Monday night, nobody was excited when Damian was teasing a cash in. And we're going to regurgitate that every Monday. An accessory, a title, a briefcase, a crown and a scepter and a robe is not going to enhance a reaction. It's not going to get you over. People fail to realize that Stone Cold won the King of the Ring after he was already getting over. The King of the Ring is supposed to be to get the guy who's already over to the next level. And that's what happened. Stone Cold was born after he won the King of the Ring the very next night. But he was already over, guys. You got to remember that time period. He was already getting over. Back then, you didn't win championships as an accessory to try to get you over. You won the title because you were already over, and it was time to take you to the next level. Daniel Bryan winning at WrestleMania 30, winning the world title. That wasn't to get Daniel Bryan over. That was the culmination of the Yes movement. Kofi Kingston didn't get the title because they wanted to get Kofi over. It was Kofi Mania, and you got to read the temperature of the room. That's the only way you could have went. Big E didn't get the title to help get him over. It was more than past due, and he was ready to rock. Just like Kofi, the booking failed him afterwards. And you can go on and on. Shawn Michaels winning the title at WrestleMania 12 wasn't to get Shawn Michaels over. We all knew that's what had to happen. It was to get Shawn to an even another level that many people didn't know what that level even looked like. Shawn Michaels took us on that ride. Bret the Hitman Hart winning King of the Ring. That wasn't to get Bret Hart over. He already was. It's the next level. I always remember Jerry Lawler attacking him afterwards. It was brilliant. Nowadays, we put these things on people like Miz. Miz is walking around with a briefcase. Damian Priest, who's nowhere near getting over yet. We like Damian. We wish the best for him, and we want good booking, no question. We didn't tell you to throw a briefcase on a motherfucker with no plan in sight. Championships. You throw a U.S. title multiple times on Austin Theory, for instance. What the fuck is that doing? Austin Theory doesn't connect with it. You think him having a title was going to connect? Seth Rollins, before his sing-along, was putting people to sleep just last year when he was with Bob Lashley and Austin Theory, and for months they were having this weird thing for the U.S. title. Seth had the U.S. title and was putting people to sleep. Nobody gave a fuck. The title isn't going to make a dude. The dude will help make the title and help take them both to the next stratosphere. That's what the company does. LA Knight, so many others. And now you can add Raquel. Instead of properly booking her to the point where we are going to want to collectively, the majority of us anyway, we're not always going to agree on everything as a community, but the majority of the wrestling world can say, hey, dude, Raquel's going for the title. This is going to be good, actually, man. Could you imagine her, Rhea, with the booking Raquel's had and the tear she's been on lately? We are not saying that. She's in a tag team. She's winning tag titles with different people every other week because they always get injured. Raquel, after every Monday night or Friday night, whatever, she's an afterthought. Nobody's talking about her around the water cooler at school or the fucking water cooler at work or the water fountain at school. Nobody's talking about Raquel Rodriguez. Change that. Start the process. Give us, the fans, a reason to start really caring about her. And then, when it's time, set up the big title match. The problem here, guys, even if you like Raquel, is that we're doing it so soon, you're actually just hurting Raquel in the process. If you guys think that this setup, with only 3 weeks to go before SummerSlam, and the match itself at SummerSlam, is going to catapult Raquel to the stratosphere, you're wrong. The company will keep pushing her. Good for her. For the fans, good luck trying to get excitement. Good luck looking at anything Raquel does going forward as fun. Because you're just going to have a forced, regurgitated, I can fucking speak, a forced, regurgitated Raquel Rodriguez. That's the problem with this type of forced, hotshot booking. That's the problem with it. You're not doing it the right way. It's not organic. They chose their favorite one, and you say, well, BC, that's what companies do. It's their right to do that. BC, they have to choose people. Not all the time. You can let us do it, too. The fans have never failed them. That's what I'm trying to say. Listen to our reactions and get behind them. Sasha Banks was given shit. 5 or 6 title reigns her whole main roster career, while Charlie is going after 16. What? Naomi has 2 titles to Charlie's near 16. Ember Moon gets booted from the company. Mickie James booted from the company. Bayley, they won't even let her make Damage Control work. Io loses a title match last month and has to walk around with a briefcase to try to get another opportunity. All for Charlie. How'd that work out for him? Where's the connection? There is none. She goes away for months, comes back, and after just a few weeks, she's booed out of their arenas. Roman Reigns went heel. He said he'll never go back. He said he'll naturally end up getting cheers more than likely, and he already is, but he'll never go full throttle back. That's what he said. He's like, I'd never want to go back to that. That's what happens when the machine just plucks you and doesn't listen to us. We never failed them, man. Why would you not give the rocket to Sasha Banks? Why just Charlie? Why would you not give the rocket to LA Knight? Why just Austin Theory? They pick somebody, and that's it. They put all the chips on the table, all the eggs in the basket. They put their lives on the line for it, right? No, it's this or bust. We cannot call an audible. We cannot let the fans dictate. But we've never failed them. Every time we go for it's epic. The moments that last a lifetime. Character development that they could only dream of creating themselves. We did Stone Cold's Austin 3:16. I mean, he put it in, obviously, the work, but we allowed that to happen. We went along with that. The Rock would have never been created had we not treated Rocky Maivia the way they did. We did. The Yes Movement, Kofi Mania, these are epic moments that'll stand the test of time, man. Listen to us. We know what we're talking about. Raquel, hopefully she does have a great future in this company. Putting her in a damn title match at SummerSlam already, when she's an afterthought on these shows. Is that the best you got for SummerSlam? It's a rhetorical question. I think all of us know the truthful answer is no. I hope you guys enjoyed that discussion because it's bigger than just Raquel. It's the problem that this company has. You want to get behind somebody and catapult them to the next level through the stratosphere? You really want them to get organically over, have it be organically. Do things right. Book them correctly. Don't try to cut corners and fast track them because you don't want to get creative. You just want to force it and hope that it works. It fails time and time again. Unfortunately, guys, Raquel just looks to be the latest victim of the Rocket. And it's just not time. And if you're trying to sell somebody like BC to get SummerSlam, to watch SummerSlam so that I can see Rhea versus Raquel for the title, ain't going to happen. Now, there's still some weeks to go. Not many. Just over 3 weeks to go before SummerSlam. I guess they could go a different way. Thought it was going to be Becky Lynch, Rhea, something like that. Nope, they're going to stick with Trish and Becky. And Rhea Ripley and Raquel. I don't know. That's a real thing, man. That's this company. And then you wonder why fans get furious. The company doesn't make sense. And they make it less and less and less fun for their own audience. Guys, I want to talk ratings, man. Let me get a big swig of coffee. Because I can go another hour on that. Because this is just the latest example of how this company does their business and refuses to listen to us to build new stars. And in their mind, they don't want to build new stars. They're going to handpick chosen ones that they know are going to fall in line. Pathetic. Ratings. Let's start with Monday Night Raws, man. Now, Monday Night Raw pulled a near 2 milli on the heels of more Vince McMahon fingerprints. I told you guys the last couple of weeks, Raw's ratings, man, around 1.8, 1.9, and it's with rumblings of Vince McMahon being in the arena or tearing up scripts or having his fingerprints. And I told you guys, Vince McMahon equals ratings. If you're trying to cause a narrative that's going to derail fans away from the product, it's going to flock them to it. Vince equals ratings. The thought of fingerprints alone brought in 1.9 plus. Now, the problem with this is that this is going into SummerSlam, and they're still not hitting 2 million viewers on Monday Night Raw without NFL football competition. That's big because don't forget, when football was going on and fans were going, well, Beasley, when football is off the air, they're going to get back to a near 2.5, at least 2.2, BC, 2.2 to 2.3. And I told you guys, no, they're going to struggle to get back to 2.0 because too many weeks in a row, fans are missing it. And then there's no more FOMO. They feel like they can miss every week. So what makes you think you're going to get all them fans back when football is off there? And I was right again, guys. And that's not a pat on the back. I was right. Football's been off for months. They have not hit 2 million since. 1819. And I'm surprised they're even there with the product that they've been putting out. You wouldn't shock BC if they were at the 1.7s, man. 1.7, maybe early, young 1.8s. They should be happy that there's these Vince McMahon stories that are flocking people to a 1.9 and even near 2.0. But still, and no, not the 2.0, and you got football coming back next month. That's the problem. When you sink back to 1.5, 1.6 consistently because there's a good game on and WWE decided to curl up in a ball and hide in the corner until football's over, good luck with the 1.5s and 1.6s because on the extreme weeks, you're going to see them finally hit 1.3, and that's something we have not seen. It's coming this year, guys. Mark those words. It's happening. So Monday Night Raw, decent actually. The overnight for SmackDown, we are hearing, is a 2.5 over 2.3 to 2.4. We expect another 0.75 there, so they're screwing around with a 2.5 rating for SmackDown this week, which coincides with the 2.510 last week. The point is, this Bloodline story is still hot, and it is pulling in roughly 2.5 million viewers over the last month. So 45 minutes to just storyline and no wrestling. If you are wondering how it does, 2.5 milli, once again, the highest rated wrestling show out of any promotion anywhere. On the backs of the Bloodline, the highest rated segments. 2.5, SmackDown pulls a massive rating this week, yet again. Massive for today's standards. I don't want to get carried away. They should be pulling in 4.5s bare minimum, but that's wrestling today. 2.5 is considered massive. I feel I should not have lowered my bar there. I'm going to take away the massive. But 2.5 compared to like a show like Raw that's been around for decades, way longer than SmackDown, and they can't even hit 2 million. And I understand it's on Fox. The other one is on cable. But still, that 2.5 million, it looms large over every other wrestling show. You look at Dynamite, the flagship show for AEW. 855,000 viewers this week. Now, it's an uptick from last week's. What'd they score? 816, something like that? So they went up. I forgot what the demo did, and I don't have that right here. But 855 is what I'm looking at. 855,000 viewers. I'm not going to rip it apart. You guys already know what I'm going to say. For a long time, they were consistently at 950. They could not hit 1 million consistently. Once in a while when Tony Khan had a big announcement. But at least they were at 950 consistently. You just had to come up with that one major storyline that was going to tip them over the edge of 1 million and then off to the yonder, man. You're off to the races. Right? 1-1, 1-2 consistently. But let's just get over that million. You're one storyline away. Your tried and true niche audience topped off at 950. The bottom tier of their niche was always 850. The problem, guys, is the highest they've been getting over the last several months is 850. Which means 100,000 of your top tier niche is gone. They said, I'm done. They no longer feel like this is must-see TV. They don't support like they once did. 950 has now become 850, and I can't even say consistently because they're in the 816, 823, 795. They're not even consistently at their low end of the top tier of their niche, if that makes sense. 850 to 950, their high is 850 now. That's bad, guys. That's bad. They're going backwards since their debut. We've seen them in the 700,000s recently. That's half of the 1.4 they debuted with. They've only been around 5 years. And they've lost half their audience. So that's not good. SmackDown, tripling that. SmackDown is more than tripling that. That would equal a 145 or a 2.45. Or 255, right? If you look at an 850, times it by 3, you're at a 24, 245, 25, 255. And this could be anywhere from a 2.5 to a 2.6 after the, because this was the overnight rating for SmackDown. It could be more than tripling that. If you're being honest, we all thought AEW Dynamite would be much more farther along than they are, and they need storylines. Doesn't have to be as epic as what the Bloodline has been, but they need something that's going to bring fans to their show and make it must-see. It's going to take a lot more than just wrestling matches. I'm telling you guys, a lot of you guys don't want to hear it, man. You want to just call yourself an alternative, but you're starting to go backwards. Collision started at 16,000 viewers. We know that's bad. As a debut show with CM Punk, who was supposed to save AEW, and they just pulled an 816, and then the second week they were at a 595. They lost over 200,000 viewers in 1 week with CM Punk in action. 595. They didn't even hit 600 last week. And then this past week, they pulled a 453,000 viewership is what I am looking at. 453. 4th of July weekend, BC. Okay, but it's not 4th of July. CM Punk advertised it because it was a tape show, so we already knew he was going to be on commentary and he's going to be eyeing a few individuals. So Punk is on the show. 453. That's Rampage numbers. Rampage, unfortunately, is going even less than that. But this happened way quicker than we thought it was going to happen. They're almost already at half their audience in just 3 weeks. They started over 8. They're just over 4 now, 450. And if you think it's going to get easier with college football and UFC events and just a lot of Saturday competition in the future, if you think this is just going to catapult back toward 1 million, or if you're just saying, well, I'm sure TBS TNT is going to be fine with around 500 BC. Wow. That's what you just made a show just to get mid-AF numbers, just to pull more Rampage numbers. You're just taking away from Dynamite at that point. You're hurting your product more than helping it. NXT, which was on 4th of July, by the way, they pulled, I believe it was 508,000 viewers. Am I right on that, guys? I think NXT, this is what I mean. I'm getting the actual, I heard rumblings, as I said in the cold open, rumblings of what some of the numbers were, but I didn't get an accurate, I wasn't able to actually see them, so I want to do that live with you guys. Or at least this is unedited. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to actually see the numbers. I heard some rumblings, so I think it was 508 is what I heard. Of course, they 508. Hey, how's that for retaining some memory there, bro? 508,000 viewers for NXT. That is horrendous. We all know that. It was on the 4th of July. Now, I don't use that as mulligans, trust me. But I mean, that's massive. To have to go on a taped show, taped, on the 4th of July, when people are headed out to the fireworks at 8 o'clock at night. That's such a hard position to be in. I want to say, damn, at least they stayed in the 500s, which is where they've been for months. Sometimes they leak into the 6s. And when Sethington was on there a couple weeks ago, they actually got into the 7s. But I can't give them a golf clap. 508,000 viewers. You're a stone's throw away from being taken off the air, and somebody like BC would not even question it. We're going to see how this show did, by the way. We're going to actually go to NXT's review via JR9 Gaming. So we're going to see what type of show it was for a tape show on the 4th of July. But 508,000 viewers, no matter how this show was, good or bad. And JR9 will tell us in just a little bit when we go over the Super Chat, Super Thankses. No matter if it was good or bad, nobody saw it. 500,000 out of the whole fucking... 500,000 out of everybody calculated. That's not good, man. These wrestling numbers. So when people say, man, this is the best time to be a wrestling fan, I love your optimism. I love your positive attitude. It's just not truthful. Those are the numbers. That's what I got for you. Collision, SmackDown, Raw, Dynamite. WWE is actually 2.5 plus for SmackDown. Almost getting more closer to 2 million. WWE, they're going to run out of time with football coming back next month. But damn, all things considered, with Vince McMahon's fingerprints and fingerprints all over, I don't know, whatever Vince McMahon has on these shows, it actually flocked viewers to the show. And good storytelling with the Bloodline will catapult it to the next level, man. WWE has got to be pretty okay with these numbers, man. Bare minimum okay. AEW at least went up a little bit in Dynamite, nowhere near where they should be. In Collision, NXT, Rampage, I don't even have the number for. That's just in the shitter. But Rampage, Collision, and NXT, they are a stone's throw away from just being canceled and nobody would miss it, sadly. Because it looks like nobody's even fucking watching it anyway. Big swig of coffee, and we got some super chat, super thankses to go over, and we're going to spend some time on this shit, baby. It's going to be a lengthy podcast this Sunday evening. So grab your beverage. Let's just shoot the shit a little bit, man. Let me get a big swig first. Now, on to the super thanks, which is an extension of the super chats. And I want to start with yesterday's live stream, the focal point being LA Knight. Yeah. And the frustration that a lot of us have with his booking. Super over organically on his own. Machine isn't even acting like they're trying to support his booking. They didn't just cool off LA Knight. They're shutting him down, right? Cooling him off is just some bad booking. Shutting him down is when you don't even put him on the shows. Pay-per-view after pay-per-view he's not on. He finally gets on one because he's in a match with 6 or 7 other dudes, Money in the Bank, and he loses that too. WrestleMania, Backlash, Night of Champions, it doesn't matter. He's not on the pay-per-views. He's not even on Madison Square Garden's SmackDown show, not on television. And this is just less than 4 weeks away from SummerSlam. And right now, they don't even have a spot for LA Knight. So there was frustration. That was the focal point, even larger than the Bloodline story. And that was a SmackDown review live stream yesterday. But the focal point was LA Knight not even being booked for the show. Instead, before SmackDown, with a quarter of the arena empty, that's where they bring out LA Knight to beat up Hit Row. BC didn't even know how much of the community is actually frustrated. I just knew that that was the focal point. That was the topic that needed to be discussed more than anything. It was a cold open that went over 50 minutes. And I realized hundreds live caught that, thousands since. We're almost at 700 on the ups on yesterday's live stream as of the recording of this very upload. And by now, by the time you guys hear this, we probably reached 700 and beyond. That shows you that the frustration about LA Knight's booking, how real it is, and how we've just had enough. Paul Levesque, Vince McMahon, it doesn't even matter who you blame anymore. Blame them all. Because this is unacceptable. That stream was hit out of the park thanks to you guys, man. All the gold members, we got new channel members on that earned their gold cards. A bunch of super. You guys were chucking coffees over at BC. And when we were done and the stream went up as a regular upload on the channel for your listening pleasure whenever you want, you guys continued to chuck coffee over at BC. So I want to start with those super thankses. Then we'll go to the podcast from several days ago. There was a lot of coffee being thrown at BC in the channel, man. A lot of super thinkers. Several days ago, I wasn't able to make an amped up podcast after the 4th of July. Business kind of just took me away, but I'm going to get to every single super thanker, man. Every extension of the super chats will be acknowledged in this segment. So let's start with yesterday's. Anis Sarwar, longtime channel member, by the way. Not channel member, longtime. I don't think Anis is a channel member, correct? Hold on. No, Anis is not a channel member, but Anis is a longtime Red Team Go, a longtime supporter of the channel. Anis with a 5-spot coffee. Hey, BC, it's been a minute. It pisses me off that Cross doesn't get the booking he needs, almost as much as LA Knight. He's one of those few heavyweight big guys to come out of NXT. You'd think that Vince and Pinocchio would like him because he's a big sweaty man. I don't. That's such a weird phrase. I don't know if does Vince like big sweaty man? Is that what Vince likes? I never heard of that before, Anis. But no, they're sabotaging both Knight and Cross. At least LA Knight would get a segment or two. Who knows now? But Cross is usually in catering or losing unrealistically to small guys, not including AJ. Much love and respect, Unit and BC. Right back to you, Anis. Appreciate the coffee, dude. Yeah, Cross is another one of those dudes that would have been a bigger topic if not for LA Knight. Because of how over LA Knight is. Cross is still at that crossroads, no pun intended, of trying to just get over. Problem with Cross is the machine isn't helping him at all either. And organically, it hasn't happened yet for him. And we don't know if it's ever going to. That's lightning in a bottle. You got to be careful with something like that. For Cross, he hasn't hit that yet. And when the machine doesn't bother to give you any time of day either, and you're not getting over organically, you're double screwed. And Cross is going to end up with a jobber entrance, a 2-minute match, and looking up at the lights. And what happened this Friday on SmackDown? Jobber entrance, absolute 2-minute squash, looking up at the lights. It's kind of like the booking we used to see with Cross, only back then he was wearing a leather straps and a mask, looking like a really bad Triple X version of Steve Urkel in a medieval times battle. I don't know what they were doing, man. That was a Vinnie Mac thing. Paul Levesque came around, gave him his identity back, and just like LA Knight and so many others, Paul Levesque gives the name back, the identity, and then says, sit down, maybe I'll call you in the future. Maybe I'll have something for you. But oh no, we're just supposed to blame Vincent Kennedy. Paul's there at all these shows. These are Paul's kids. Paul's not going to stand up to Vinnie Mac if Vinnie Mac is going to override. What can Paul Levesque do, BC? His hands are tied. No, they're not. He's a grown man. 50 some odd years old, right? Is he at least, I think he's at least 50. A multi-millionaire, never has to work a day in his life. I've seen people at Walt Disney World, like Bob Iger and CEOs and presidents, multi-millionaires, have friction in the company and go, I'm fucking out of here. I'm a grown man. I'm a multi-millionaire. I don't need this. I trust my talents. Fuck off. I've seen Vince McMahon's own kids, Shane McMahon and Stephanie, multiple times walk away from their father. Paul Levesque's hands are tied? He can't walk away for standing up for himself and his kids? I'm not buying it, man. I'm not acting like this guy's a victim. No. Nope. Not happening. Everybody else can walk away from multi-conglomerate billion-dollar companies, but Paul Levesque is tied up and locked in a closet. Stop. Cut the shit. Anis, I agree, dude. Cross is just another example of shitty booking from VKM and Paul Levesque. In fact, more so lately, it's Paul Levesque. I just hope the rest of the wrestling world holds him accountable as well and doesn't just allow him to play the victim. Doesn't just hold him on a pedestal. Everything good, H. Everything bad, Vince. No, that doesn't cut it. Cross's booking? Let's start blaming Paul as well. In fact, more than Vince even lately. Anise, I agree, brother. Thank you for the coffee. Good conversation on Karrion Cross. Jimmy Fingers 19 with a 20 spot. Yesterday's super thankses, man. The extension of the super chats. Even when we were off the air live, Jimmy Fingers 19 showing that love. Catapulting coffees over to BC in the channel. Jimmy Fingers 19 is not just a long-time supporter of the channel. Jimmy Fingers 19 is a gold card member. He's a channel member. I see that gold card blinging as I read this, man. Gold card right after the name, and it's a highlight, man. I love seeing that, man. My channel members pop off the screen. Jimmy Figures 19 says, BC, can we go back to your Money in the Bank pod and hit rewind and then add 100 more uglies for LA Knight being left off of TV? The reaction he got in the dark segment was so loud that the Knicks championship banner from 1972 fell out of the rafters. Basic, brother. At what point does Endeavor look at bad decisions like this and start issuing fines to both VKM and 3H's for bad business acumen? Yes, the Bloodline story has been gold, but now we are getting to the point where that is all that matters. This storyline is going to get bled dry and be stale after SummerSlam. Everything else outside of the Bloodline bubble does not have my interest. There is just not as much care put into anybody else. They might as well just book Roman vs. Jay for SummerSlam and that's it, because I don't care about anything else. Do you? How about LA Knight taking that U.S. title off of Theory? First of all, Jimmy Fingers 19, I appreciate the coffees. You know that. I appreciate the gold membership more than anything. The support on top of that you've shown this channel over time, man. One of my favorites on the channel for sure, Jimmy Fingers 19. So I want to not just acknowledge, but appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the coffees, but thank you for your support more than anything. Now, as far as hitting rewind and adding 100 more uglies on LA Knight being left off of MSG and 3 out of the last 4 pay-per-views, if I was doing that SmackDown review as a good, the bad, and the ugly, it would probably get 1,000 uglies. I never thought that would be possible, but after Money in the Bank and how many uglies that got, 100? I never thought that was possible either, but you keep booking LA Knight. You have a SummerSlam without LA Knight? I'm going to start that bitch off with 100 uglies. How's that? Could you imagine if SummerSlam rolls around and there's no LA Knight? As it is, Jimmy Fingers 19, an amplified unit. By the time, even if Friday night they heard our rants and our fucking fury and our rage, right? Even if they heard it all, and Friday night on SmackDown, they catapult LA Knight to a SummerSlam match, even then, and I don't expect that to happen, by the way, but even if they did, you sabotaged it. By that point, you only have 3 weeks till SummerSlam. Good things come to those that wait is what Paul Levesque said about LA Knight's booking. Like he's a fucking kid and he's supposed to look at Paul Levesque McMahon as his father, Papa H. Good things come to those that wait. This is months. He was the most over wrestler at WrestleMania with Cody Rhodes. You sabotaged both. You killed 2 birds with 1 stone. You made Cody Rhodes lose on the grandest stage, and you didn't even put LA Knight on the show. Good job, Paul Levesque. In the same weekend, the same night, Asuka loses. That was such a botch. 3 to 4 weeks later, she's winning the title on a Saturday afternoon. Why not just do it at WrestleMania on a bigger stage? Paul Levesque made one botch after another that weekend. April is when you already heard how over he was. April, May, June, it's now July. And he's not even on SmackDown in Madison Square Garden 4 weeks before SummerSlam. So if they have it their way, he won't even be a part of it. So then you're talking all of July into August. SummerSlam is August 5th. April, May, June, July, 5 months of being super over organically with lightning in a bottle. And he still has to wait. We'll get to you. We have plans. What's your plans? Trish and Becky for 18 months? What's your plans? Raquel Rodriguez is going to take on Rhea Ripley for the title. That's what we're hearing. A tag team wrestler with a tag team title with no reaction whatsoever. Raquel is going to somehow go against Rhea Ripley on the second grandest stage of the year. That's your plans, huh? What's your plans, I'm asking? Where's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? Oh, they don't even have a fucking plan because there's no tag team division. You have good tag teams, but no real division. So who's Kevin Owens and Sami really going to take on? What's the matches for SummerSlam? Come on, what's your plan? Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar? Brockton versus Cody for the third fucking time. And still to this day, we don't have a reason why Brockton even started this with Cody, because you failed, you botched, and didn't put the title on Cody, and that made no sense. So now Brockton is taking on Cody with no fucking title. And we do it once, nah. We do it twice, nah. We do it 3 fucking times. And still, at SummerSlam, we still won't know why Brockton is doing what he did to attack Cody for no fucking reason. This is beyond something stupid like Cody went on last and Brockton wanted to go on last. Or Paul Heyman paid him off. No, you better come up with something way better than that. But we're beyond that. At this point, it's been so long, we just want it done. And that's a shame, because Brockton versus Cody should be damn good. On paper, I'd be invested, you would think. Nope. A storyline without a reasoning, without a purpose, without a plot is not a story. Just like a motor vehicle without an engine isn't gonna go. These days, a battery. But you gotta have that focal point, don't you? You have to have that centerpiece. You gotta have the engine or the battery or the car's not going. You're gonna be like the Flintstones and rubbing your fucking feet against cement non-stop until you create a spark and you can start moving. No, a vehicle needs that engine. A body needs that heartbeat to function. A story needs purpose. This is not a storyline with Cody and Brockton, and that's why a lot of the wrestling world doesn't buy into it. But you can flutter that out there at SummerSlam. You can flutter out Sethington Rollins, Roman versus Jey Uso, and where the fuck is LA Knight? The most over guy right now. Yeah. Good things come to those that wait. Maybe we can put you on a Survivor Series team in November in Chicago. We'll put you in the match with one of nine other individuals in a 5-on-5 traditional tag. What do you mean we're not booking him? He's going to be at Survivor Series. Yeah, good job. Anyway, Jimmy Fingers 19. You got me re-amplified right there, Jimmy Fingers 19. I appreciate that, brother. And if I can go over to the podcast from several days ago, and then I had to take off for a few days to conduct some other business way outside the pro wrestling realm. But Jimmy Fingers 19, through BC and the channel, another 5-spot coffee and a different super thanks. That was on a couple of podcasts ago. Jimmy Fingers 19 says, BC, you touched on something on the last pod that has gotten me amplified for quite some time. I respect The Miz, but he has made my skin crawl with cringe for many years, except for that nice angle with Bryan on Talking Smack 2016. Really good promo there, by the way. That one time he dressed down an Enzo in the last 2 weeks. I am still not a big Miz fan, but damn, he could be so much better. Better. Pronounced with BC's amplified rolling of the T's. He could be so much better. And taken seriously instead of presented like a rodeo clown, like he is always portrayed. Something tells me he just don't care because he is paid well and gets a reality show with his hot wife. No shade, all the power to him, because he has a better life than the average guy. All I am saying is that I wish he would stay amplified. No question. I've been saying that ever since last Monday Night Raw, 2 Monday Night Raws ago, when he cut that backstage promo interview. That was more of a promo. I don't even think, was he being interviewed? Yeah, he was being interviewed. But it wasn't even on the show. It was just for like WWE.com. And it was one of the most amplified Miz promos I've heard in quite some time, since maybe the 2016 Talking Smack thing with the Daniel Bryan you brought up, Jimmy Fingers 19. So I completely agree with you. An amplified Miz is best for Miz, best for business, best for us. It's the only time I care to see Miz, and I like the Miz, man. I really do. But I don't blame any wrestling fan for rolling their eyes and catching some Z's when Miz is out in the ring. But lately, I'm seeing this amplification to put some respect on my name, Miz, the amplified Miz. I'm done being a fucking, as you put it, Jimmy Fingers 19, a rodeo clown. So yeah, man, that's been frustrating, BC, for the longest time. You have Miz, a guy who's willing to show up nonstop, any show you need. He'll show up fucking 7 times a show. Tell him what you need him to do, and he'll do it. Tell him where he needs to be, he'll be there. He's a company guy. A lot of us like Miz. It's a shame that we have to feel nothing when he's out there. Change it up. Let's have an amplified Miz. Jimmy Fingers 19. Appreciate you, brother. And fully agree. Ashley with a 10 spot, a couple of coffees, and that super thanks from a couple of podcasts ago. Ashley, appreciate the coffees. Appreciate you being a unit supporter. I think Ashley is a channel member. Nope, no gold card, but channel supporter for a while now. Ashley says, rewind! With exclamation point. If you guys caught the good, the bad, and the ugly review of Money in the Bank, you know what we're talking about. A lot of you guys keep bringing up the rewind. That was organic. It was after the LA Knight debacle, the butchering of LA Knight at Money in the Bank, and then the review show last Saturday just took on a life of its own, man. There's no way to put it. So if you see the word rewind a lot, it goes back to the review of Money in the Bank. You guys can check it out, see what we're talking about. Ashley says, rewind. What up, BC? What up, Ashley? Or the Sugar Rush. I like that. Just dropping by to smash the like button and throw a cup of coffees your way, and to throw a couple 100 more uglies to Vince McMahon and Triple H's way. Triple H is on a hot streak of serving up triple B's, brainless booking botches. Let me count the ways. Austin Theory and his failed cash-in during an open challenge on a Monday Night Raw. Cody Rhodes and Asuka not winning at WrestleMania. LA Knight not winning the Money in the Bank briefcase at Money in the Bank. And Roman Reigns being pinned for the first time in over 3 years in a tag team match. Triple H seems to go through struggle and adversity whenever he has to step the fuck up and make a smart and logical creative decision. And I can go through struggle and adversity waiting for this shit to get better. We could be waiting a long fucking time before either of these things happen. Then again, good things come to those that wait, BC. It's what H told us, like we're kids. Right, BC? Wink, wink. Much respect and appreciation. Keep talking your shit. Ashley N., that is a badass. Super thanks, super chat, man, in that upload from a couple of pods ago, a couple of amped ups. I'm glad I caught that. Ashley, I love it. You just listed just some of the major booking debacles, the butchering of Triple H, Paul Levesque McMahon, Pinocchio Pussface, Schnoz McGee. You just labeled some of the bigger ones. There's even more. These are just the ones that we set aside time that have to be addressed so they can never happen again. And this guy just says, hold my coffee, and he doubles down, triples down, quads down. Every mistake gets bigger than the last. You know, we talk so much about the Cody and Asuka debacle. We talk so much about the Austin Theory debacle. We talk so much about LA Knight's debacle from Money in the Bank, or Madison Square Garden not even being on the show on television. You know, we don't even spend the right time on Roman Reigns after 3 years of holding a title and not being pinned. He gets pinned by Jey Uso, a tag team guy, and that's my favorite tag team. But no, he should not be pinning Roman Reigns. Obviously, guys, it devalues what it all means in the end. It devalues the guy who's going to pin him for the title. We've already seen him get pinned. Just to get to a SummerSlam match that we've already seen in the past. In fact, you can't even top it. Jey and Roman in 2020 at Hell in a Cell, inside of Hell in a Cell, faced each other in an I Quit match. I'm going to say that again. I Quit Hell in a Cell match. Jey versus Roman. How do you top that? Well, you put him at SummerSlam 3 years later, and you can't. But we're going to pin Roman after 3 years. We haven't even given that the time of day that it deserves. Ashley, great list. Unfortunately, I can even add 6 or 7 more big booking botches by, as you call them, Triple B, Brainless Booking Botch McGee. Ashley, salute. Also, guys, super thanks, super chat. This week in the podcast, WWE, AEW Marvel Fan, Gold Team, 2-Spot Coffee. Speaking of botches, there's one more thing I'd like to discuss, a Triple H booking botch that will indeed happen. So we're going into the future. We can predict Pinocchio Pussface's next booking botches. WWE, AEW Marvel Fan says, one that will indeed happen, and how. Charlotte Flair will win the title at SummerSlam in a triple threat, mostly how he will probably have Randy Orton come back instead of turning him heel and attacking Riddle, viciously setting up a major feud at SummerSlam, just like Drew McIntyre. He'll remain a face, and he's reunited with Riddle, facing Imperium. That's probably how they'll do this. Instead of coming back in the right way, taking out Riddle, causing that mean streak, diabolical Viper heel, the legend killer type of Randy Orton, he'll come back with fucking Scooter McGee, Nail Polish McGee, and they'll win tag titles or some shit. And a WWE AEW Marvel Fan says, going back to Charlotte Flair and that booking botch, she'll most likely win the title, pinning or submitting Asuka just to win, only to get cashed in by Io and lose, just to leave, then come back again and win the title for that 16th time. And beyond. Over her father's record, as I discussed in previous videos, says WWE AEW Marvel Fan. Well, I discussed it. First of all, you got that from BC, and I'm glad you're regurgitating my words. I've been saying that for the longest time. I'm glad that people are thinking clearly, man. WWE AEW Marvel Fan, one of my tried and trues, a gold card member, one of the original. Much love, much respect, WWE AEW Marvel Fan. Appreciate you, brah. Also, I want to go over to Keyshawn with a 2-Spot super thanks, super chat, coffee. Keyshawn says, thanks, BC, for being so honest about Austin Theory. Every time I see this guy, I have to mute the TV. LA Knight should have won Money in the Bank. The least they can do is give him the U.S. title. Drew should have came back as a heel, and I've been waiting for Psychopath Drew to come back, plus I was sick of Seth and his song. I have to mute the TV when Sethington is doing the sing-along. It really makes BC nauseous. It's pretty pathetic. WWE took what could have been a good thing, and they beat it down till it was dead. It's kind of sad. I appreciate you, Keyshawn, thanking me for being honest about Austin Theory. Somebody had to, man. You know, for so long, we've had patience, right? Oh, maybe he'll get it. Maybe he'll get over. Let's give it time. Guys, stop. It's boring. Austin Theory is boring. Everything he does is boring. His booking is bad. And I've given it enough time. This title reign is as stale, as boring, and as dumb as Sethington with the U.S. title. Or Bob Lashley. It's bad. He's been playing around with this U.S. title for over a year. It's done. It's a failed experiment. I'm glad, Keyshawn, you not just viewed or listened to that podcast, but you understand how true my words are. It's not about liking Austin Theory or not. Most of us like him. It just doesn't work. Meanwhile, he's on Madison Square Garden's SmackDown show. He's going to be at SummerSlam. X, Y, and Z is all going to be filled out box-wise. But it's LA Knight that has to scratch and claw just to get on a show? When you've put the machine on Austin Theory for over a year, really since he's gotten to the main roster 2 separate times, and now with a title for several months, and with a Money in the Bank briefcase, and he still is not over. You have to pipe in boos. Meanwhile, this guy can't even get on a pay-per-view. Money in the Bank finally, because it was in a match with 6 or 7 other dudes, and he still loses. But most pay-per-views he can't even get on. Can't get on MSG SmackDown. You have no booking for this guy. You shut him down. And this guy's organically over. Somebody has to speak honest about this Austin Theory debacle, because that's what it is. It's an experiment. You tried it. You failed. Take the title off of him. Push him to the side. Resurrect him somehow. You talk about repackage. It's going to take a lot more than just putting a cell phone down. Keyshawn, I appreciate you, man. And the comments for Drew McIntyre, same thing. I was expecting a much better Drew McIntyre when he returned. It's the same corny Drew having the same feud with the guy he was having the feud with before he left, Drew, fucking Imperium's Gunther. And he's going for the same mid-card title. That's the best you had for a Drew that's been gone since Mania? You failed. You failed, WWE. Keyshawn, I appreciate you. Prime Killa with a 2-spot. Super thanks, super chat. Prime Killa says, if Theory versus LA Knight for the US title happens at SummerSlam and LA Knight loses, 1,000 uglies, BC. Prime Killa, if Theory versus LA Knight for the US title happens at SummerSlam and LA Knight loses, yeah. Well, I was just having some fun and saying, listen, if LA Knight's not on the show, SummerSlam is opening up with 100 uglies. Now, I was kidding, but I may have to do that if you're not going to put LA Knight on SummerSlam. If you put him in a match for the title and he loses, that might have to garner 1,000. Who knows? Prime Killa. We joke, but it might come to that, man. Dino with a 2-spot. Super thanks, super chat. Dino says the IWC is hilarious. After last night, which is SmackDown, I believe, they're claiming how Roman Reigns beating Cody at WrestleMania was the right choice, and it's finally obvious as Roman needs the title to make the Bloodline storyline work. I had to share this with you in the AMP unit because it cracked me up. Those same people will chant, "This is awesome," and fight forever 30 seconds into a nonsensical tag team match that was put together 2.5 minutes ago, 2.5 minutes before. Yeah, well, those are definitely the same fans that would be doing that, Dino. On top of that, thankfully, Dino, I have not heard any of that. I've heard the opposite, and I'm talking even from reputable reporters, journalists, content creators / podcasters. They've taken back steps, and they admitted they were wrong, and that's really cool to see. You don't get that a lot in the community. A lot of people said we were wrong. A lot of people who pushed the struggle and adversity shit said, oh, had I known this was going to be the booking afterwards, I would have never called for that. I would have just put the title on Cody. The problem is that's why you got to listen to BC, whether you claim you like me or you don't. I'm already miles ahead of everybody else. I don't say that for a pat on the back. I'm saying it so we all are not shocked at what's to come and we can try to rectify it before it goes off the rails. I already told you guys, man, the big reason, one of the biggest reasons Cody has to get the titles, aside from reading the room and it's just time, you can feel the energy from all of us in attendance and at home. But on top of that, you literally, well, and I do mean this when I say it's equally as important as reading the temperature of the room. It's literally equally as important. Is that you are taking what Cody Rhodes, and I'm using that as the example because that's what this is about, right? Roman, people are claiming that was the right call. You're literally setting everything going into the future. SummerSlam is just the beginning. You're setting the summer up, but everything that happens afterwards. So you have to look ahead. How would WWE book this if they don't put the title on Cody? And you know Roman's going on vacation for at least a month, possibly 2, and it ended up being more like 2. And then afterwards, he was just in tag matches. He hasn't even defended in 4 months. How is WWE going to conduct business? That's why I say it's just as important as everything else. The booking afterwards. I told you guys, do not give this company the benefit of the doubt. Do not give them extra rope. They'll hang themselves. They just will. I told you guys, if you ask for Cody not to get the title, you're asking for trouble. And sure enough, here we are. Nothing Cody has done has made sense. He feels like just an average guy on the roster. Months later. Roman, we already know what happened with him. I just went over it. Vacation, tag matches, hasn't defended in 4 months. Like, what? It was the right decision. He needs the title to be in a Bloodline implosion story angle. He needs in fact, look at what was more important this Friday night. Roman threw the title to the side, to the canvas. What were they all fighting for, guys? The title was an afterthought. They were fighting for that prestigious tribal lay, right, over the neck of Roman, and he gives it to Jay, and after they start brawling each other, it winds up in the middle of the canvas, and Solo staring at it. And one of the biggest pops of the night from New York City's Madison Square Garden was when everybody wanted Solo to pick up that lei, put it around his own neck as the new tribal chief. And he picks it up. I mean, the centerpiece of the story was who's the real provider of the families. Who's the real tribal chief? That lei, that tribal lei was more prestigious in that moment than the title. That's what I mean. Roman never needed the title after Mania. Everything he's done since, he doesn't need the title. He went on vacation for 2 months. You don't need a title held hostage for 2 months if you're going on vacation. 2 back-to-back tag team matches, pay-per-views. Owens and Zayn over at Night of Champions, and then immediately Money in the Bank a month later with Usos. So 2 months vacation, back-to-back tag matches, hasn't defended in 4 months, and when he finally does, it's with Jay, who's really more than anything about who's the real leader of the family. That's what it's always been about. Nobody truly expects Jey Uso to walk away with the championship. 3 years, all of this. Cody Rhodes, Cesaro, Big E, everybody that has failed. Jey Uso's going to be the one to beat Roman. As an Usos fan, they're my favorite tag team. I'll be the first to tell you Jey Uso has no business beating Roman Reigns for the title. We all know that. Nothing Roman has done needs the title. Everything Cody Rhodes has done called for the title. It was asked backwards. Paul Levesque failed miserably. It's one of the biggest botches that'll go down in infamy in pro wrestling. H just has to take the biggest L imaginable on this. So my point is, Dino, thankfully, I'm seeing the opposite. Even the people that said Roman has to walk out with the title so Cody can have struggle and adversity, they're backtracking. They're taking the L. And I think that's awesome. Thankfully, I have not seen anybody recently going, Raw, I see it all makes sense, man. Thank goodness Roman had the title and none of this was going to be possible. Thankfully, I have not seen that. But, Dino, you're probably on social and all that. That's not, BC doesn't play around. I'm an adult with a busy fucking life going on with a lot of business I have to conduct and take care of and a lot of travel. I don't have time to read 140 characters from a lot of stupid people. Thankfully, I don't have to come across that. Dino, I'm sorry that you do, bro. Hopefully, you just bypass it and keep going. Important thing I learned when I was a kid, man. Never give attention to stupidity and never give the time of day to those that don't deserve it. And that always kept BC flying past shit. You know, today, a lot of people, they'll see 1,000 compliments and one negative thing, right? A lot of, BC, much love. BC, love the channel, man. big supporter from such and such area. And then there'll be a fuck you, BC, you suck. Right? And a lot of people, whether it's anything, NBA, celebrities, movie stars, maybe it's a fucking a TikTok influencer, maybe it's just somebody who just fucking does some artwork in a local community, right? And they come across the one negative comment and they forget all about the hundreds or the thousands of compliments. They're focused on that negative shit. And to the point where they have to respond to it. And I'm like, whoa, what about everybody showing you the love? BC learned a long time ago, never give that the time of day. You bypass that shit with the quickness and you show your true supporters the love. That's why I do shit like this. When you guys throw a coffee, I take a whole fucking hour to respond, to shoot the shit with my supporters. Why I put my gold status channel members on another level. Because I show the respect where it's coming from. I reciprocate it. I only give the time of day and attention to supporters that support, that can rock with common sense and logic. Don't say or do weird, stupid shit. That'll never get attention. I wish more people were like that. So anyway, Dino, the point is, hopefully you just bypass that shit. Hopefully you're just laughing about it. We're shooting the shit about it here. I hope you don't engage with that because you can't fix stupid. My pops told me that back in the day. You can't fix stupid. Bypass it. Let it be somebody else's fucking problem. Always focus on the positive on that shit, man. For real. BC always says the only time I'll pay attention to the negative is on this channel when I got to rip apart the wrestling shows because there's a lot more negative than positive, a lot more bad than good. That's the only time we got to be negative, BC. We got to be harsh. But yes, very interesting conversation indeed. Going back to Cody Rhodes not winning the title, and if it was the right call or not. It's clear as day. I think we all know that. Unfortunately, some of you guys, again, looks like some of you guys are coming across some fans that think otherwise. Thankfully, most of us now know it was the only call, and it was botched at WrestleMania. Now what I would like to do is go over to JR9 Gaming. JR9 Gaming. It is indeed time for the 5th week of JR9's Amplified NXT Roundup. Happy birthday to NXT's Golden One. JR9 Gaming, man. Happy birthday, brother. My right-hand man on the channel, for those that don't know, always there to show that support, but more than anything, too, or just as equal, always there when I need a question answered immediately. Always there to dissect shows like NXT when I cannot watch them. And because they don't reach the million in viewership like AEW, I have that rule where even if I did catch it, I can't review it. So, JR9 for 5 straight weeks now, doing the review work for the channel for NXT. And he has his positives of NXT this week and his negatives. I have not pre-read this. I don't know a damn thing that happened on Tuesday night. So I'm going to read this and try to comprehend it while I'm reading it. Because I'm really going to try to visual what went down, how it went down. If it's good, if it's bad. So I'm going to go through this. I'm going to take as much time as needed in this NXT review from JR9 Gaming. Again, happy birthday, bro. The positives from NXT this week from JR9 Gaming. Tony D's Precinct segment was brilliant yet again. His performances are top tier, this time setting up Stacks versus Joe Coffey next week. If Stacks wins, Tony is free, and Stacks and Tony get tag title match for his Gallus. But if Coffey wins, he must go on trial. Best story in NXT right now. Weeks ago when I saw him in that precinct, I told you, JR9, I said, this I like. I like the way it's set up. And I don't always say that about NXT. Some of the camera angles and the constant cuts and the overly scripted material, I don't like. But what they were doing with Tony D several weeks ago. Was that Roadblock or afterwards? I forget what the event was, but I was able to catch it, and I loved what they were doing. Sounds like every show, every week, they've been pumping up this storyline. It sucks I haven't been able to keep up with it. It also sucks that not enough people are watching, right? Again, NXT pulling in the 500 plus. It being on 4th of July, so you can't knock it, I guess. But it sucks that only 500,000 we're able to see this storyline, 500,000 to 600,000 roughly every week. I wish it was on a grander stage, because it is one of the best stories from what I'm hearing. Also, Blair versus Roxy was a good opening match. Always a blast watching Roxy wrestle. She's so smooth, and Blair winning the right call, and she's getting much more consistent. That's one of the things that sucks the most about not being able to catch NXT is I haven't been able to keep up on Roxy. But I'm not surprised she's having really good matches with people like Blair, who initially I wouldn't think they would have the greatest chemistry. It'd be interesting to break that down, that matchup down a little bit more if I was able to catch that, to really see what Blair is bringing consistency-wise with Roxy. Kiana finding her office trash with paint by Gigi was a good follow-up from Gigi being humiliated with paint last week. I like that. That sounds interesting. JC and Valkyria had a good match. Both meshed well together. Val won, but JC stood tall, getting heat back by ripping the wings Val has for her entrance while fantastically delivering a line of, and I quote, "I always get the last laugh, bitch." I love their line delivery. Gigi and JC. Break your fucking face is Gigi from a while. I love that, man. I do have a complaint about JC losing, however, which I'll elaborate on the negatives. Bro, it's funny you say that, and I should save this for the negatives. The second you just said JC and Valkyria had a good match, both meshed well together, Val won, but JC stood tall, getting heat back. The second you said that, I'm like, no buts, Jeremy, no buts. JC's losing too much, I feel. I feel like they don't quite know what to do with JC sometimes, man, with this wins and losses. I got to check the WL columns. But it just seems a little awkward to me. You know what? Maybe I'm not watching this enough. And maybe that's why. But you know what? JR9, let's do it right now, man. Let's check the win-loss column for JC Jane, if you don't mind. I'm not going to edit this, guys. I'm not going to do it a cut. No, you guys are going to stay right now. We're going to do this. Give me a second. JC Jane. I just feel like she's 50-50 booked. Let's see if I'm right. JC Jane in her last... I don't know. How long do you guys want to go? Want to go 20 matches, NXT? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Last 20 matches dating back to December 3rd, 2022. Deal? I think there's some house shows in here as well, guys, but let's just go her last 20 matches. House shows are important. You're touring the world, and people are seeing if you're a winner or you're a loser. Last 20 matches, 3, 6. She's won 7. And of those 7... 1, 2, 3, 4 of them were tag team matches. 3 out of the 4 were with Gigi as part of Toxic Attraction, or at least 2/3. And the other tag team victory was over Ivy Nile and Lash Legend. JC was with Cora Jade. So 4 out of the 7 were tag matches. So she's only won 3 out of her last 20 individually. But she was in the tag team with Gigi, so okay, let's just go to the last 10 then. Deal? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. She's 2 out of 10. The only singles victory was on NXT Level Up over Ivy Nile and over Gigi Dolan, NXT May 2nd, 2023. Other than that, guys, she has lost her last 5 of 6, dating back to May 16th. Roxanne Perez, Roxy, defeated her. Gigi Dolan, Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, Jordan, and Roxy in a 6-man tag, and Valkyria this past Tuesday. She's only beaten Ivy Nile since May. So that's way worse than 50-50 booking for JC Jane. Anyway, JR9, I just wanted to... It's funny you say that she lost, but at least she stood tall in defeat. Yeah, I'm not even buying that shit. I'm glad you ended it with that, man. Great minds think alike. That's what makes your words hold them. That's why I say there's weight in what JR9 is saying, man. He thinks clearly on this shit. Where'd I leave off on the pod? We'll get to the negatives of JC Jane, though, says JR9 Gaming. Braun and Dragunov brawling to end the show was a decent segment. That sounds interesting, actually. The concern I have is the booking of Braun during the actual match. HBK has to protect him more than he did versus Melo and Seth. 3 losses in a row isn't a good look. But if this is his last NXT match, he'll have to put Dragunov over, who I expect to challenge Melo for the NXT title after this. Bro, that's the problem, though, and JR9. If this is his last NXT match, he'll have to put Dragunov over. We've been thinking his last 3 matches were his last. So it better be, or that's it, bro. Braun is just literally just being crushed right now, booking-wise, if this is not his last, and Dragunov goes over. Where'd I leave off here? Wagner destroying Bernay and powerbombing him through. Do I even know this motherfucker, Bernay? And powerbombing him through the table for mocking him was an effective segment. Fans are getting behind Von due to the brilliant character development they've done the past few weeks. Great to see Von finally find himself after a rough first 2 years. I really enjoyed the Wagner shit from a couple weeks ago, man, when he was telling that heartfelt story. I never knew that shit, and it developed a different layer of respect more than anything. I agree with that. NXT Underground was a significant upgrade from Raw Underground. Felt like a proper fight. Best Kemp match to date. Stevenson suplexing 5 guys post-match was a nice little showcase for what he brings. Man, I guess I have to see it to get behind it. I just think with Fight Pit, why would you need Underground unless they're 2 totally different things? I have reservations on that, JR9. But sounds like it was you're saying it's an upgrade. That's a start from what Raw was doing. Creeds versus the Dyad was a very good tag match with a huge swerve of the Creeds losing and therefore being the team leaving NXT. A call-up post-SummerSlam is imminent. And to what, JR9? There is no tag division. Good luck, Creed. Negatives from Tuesday night's NXT show. Ali beating Bate is another example of a main roster star derailing an NXT talent's momentum. Can't stand this main roster involvement each week. Melo inviting Judgment Day to next week's show with Finn accepting is awful, especially since it seems it leads to Finn vs. Melo at Great American Bash, which would be pathetic as a main roster talent would take another pay-per-view spot away from an NXT talent. It goes back to what I said, JR9. What did Pinocchio say? NXT, look at it like college football to the NFL. Where do you see all these NFL players going back to college to take over all the spots from the college football players that are trying to impress the talent scouts? No, you wouldn't have that. So you're telling me Paul Levesque McMahon lied again. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Maybe he's lying because he truly doesn't know what he's even talking about. I'm frustrated with that with you, JR9. Same thing applies to Ali versus West for the North American title, pretty much being set up for the pay-per-view as well. Pay-per-view too. It's unfair to the NXT talents who need the pay-per-view spotlight. Plus, Finn can't afford another loss, especially in NXT, so who says he does? Am I right? Maybe Melo keeps, or they keep the title, but Finn doesn't lose. I don't know, man. It muddies the waters, man. Now, back to the complaint I have on JC, says JR9 Gaming. Back on the complaint that I had about JC losing, which is what a teased on Monday's show. What, maybe I teased on Monday's stream? The loss to Valkyria was JC's 4th TV loss in a row coming out of the weaponized cage match. So JR9, it looks like he already knew the stats anyway on her booking. BC and the unit just had to get caught up. 4th TV loss in a row coming out of the weaponized cage match. More alarming is this stat. Since turning on Gigi on February 7th, HBK has given JC just 2 wins from 7 televised matches. A 29% win rate. See, I should have just waited till JR9 got to the negatives. Because it's not 50-50 booked, it's 29% of a winning percentage. JR9 with the stats, with only one of the 2 wins being an actual pinfall. The other was via DQ. So it kind of just feels like 1 win, really. JR9, I was going over some other stats over her last 20 matches. JC Jane is not being booked as a star right now. And I know that's your girl. And that's a problem. It's frustrating seeing HBK fail to properly capitalize on the massive turn angle, especially when JC was supposed to be Shawn Michaels. JC was supposed to be the Shawn Michaels to Gigi's Janetti. JC's actual performances throughout this booking have been excellent, though. She always makes the most of every moment of TV time given, but her losses are adding up. I told you at that weaponized cage match, which I was able to catch live. And I told you, I think I was able to catch that one. No, maybe I won't. Well, I was able to review the match at least. And I told you, man, stemming from it, you better have something planned afterwards. This is a big moment for women's wrestling. That is a big match. Gigi, JC, 2/3 of Toxic Attraction imploding in a weaponized cage match. Man, I hope they have proper booking coming out of that. Doesn't look like they did. Nobody in NXT in most of main roster is better on the mic than her, JC. Just a natural and in the ring can hang with anyone. I'd say she's second just behind Roxy in that department. JC is the total package by far, the best heel in all of WWE, female-wise. Now it's time to let her rock with massive victories. They can't afford to waste her talents. The sad part is, are fans giving up on her? JR9, you can see the reactions. You're hearing them. If the fans have already started to give up on her, even when she starts to collect W's, is the hole dug too deep? That's the bigger problem now than even the yells. Overall, enjoyed the show. Nothing groundbreaking, but way more positives than negatives. Now it's time for me to prepare to celebrate my 22nd birthday this Sunday, July 9th. JR9 Gaming. Got to make sure I smash that up on that comment as well, which I don't always get to do. JR9 Gaming's NXT review. I appreciate that, bro. So if I ever am able to catch this show, I am caught up. The runner of this channel, the runner of this podcast, man, thanks to JR9 Gaming, I am up to date more than ever with NXT thanks to these reviews. So I appreciate it. JR9, rock out your birthday, brother. You probably won't be able to catch this on your birthday when this goes up late Sunday evening, and I don't know what the hour is over in Scotland, but I hope you do catch this and just know how much I do thank you, man, for all you do on the channel and just supporting, man, just supporting the channel. I thank you enough. But to go above and beyond and be the right-hand man, I appreciate you, brother. Hopefully your birthday is rocking out. Here's to another 22 and beyond. Guys, that's what I have for you now. If there's more super thanks, super chats while we were recording this, I will get them and give those acknowledgements in the very next podcast, including super chat, super thankses that are in this upload down below in the comments. I will get to them in the next podcast. That's what I got for you. It was a long one. It was one of those we shoot the shit with the amplified unit, man. Just rock out with a coffee and really touch base with the unit, the gold members, the super chat, super thankers. I felt like we needed something like that to really end the weekend the right way. Until next time, and there will be a next time, the Amplified Man, top guy, I'm out. BC, saying check you.